interesting at my house.
Or send that over. All right, we'll go ahead and call the November meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is a lot of roof adjustments.
This is what happens when it dries up for so long.
The ground moves.
Oh, yeah.
And when it gets saturated, we'll run into the same thing again.
The gentleman on the last page, Bronson Willis, he couldn't come tonight, but he asked if I would speak on his behalf. 112 Double Eagle Way. He moved into the apartment right at 2 months ago. He got his first bill, and it was $550.
Ooh.
So he called the fire complex, they come fix the leak, but the time it was fixed, though, it hadn't run into the next bill, which is coming up, which is $463. He's called the corporate office, or he dealt with the maintenance people there, and they said, we can't do anything about it, we fix what we can fix, but we're not going to give you an adjustment. So he called the corporate office, going to Arkansas. They said, well, we're not going to fix it, we're not going to give you an adjustment. That was your job, was to do a checklist when you first moved in. He said, I did, I called the maintenance people 3 times over to fix them. They said, well, it's not our deal, call Brian Water Department. Said that's it. So I thought we could do the $550 adjustment with the repair that they did fix after calling them multiple times. But he's asking that we consider adjusting the second bill of $463. I said, I'll ask. I said, but that's not our city policy, so city ordinance. There will be one bill, but I'm just asking on his behalf.
By law, we can't.
It's a,
So
well, we're
unfortunately,
pretty lined out, so.
That's what I told him, but I told him I'd bring it up, so
Got sympathy for them. I think the apartment complex
I
should be
did.
Yeah.
taking care of that, but
what was it? Toilet running constantly or what?
Yeah. It was
And
intermittently
look,
called.
I think the work order from
That's a lot of water.
I think it was, well, I was just looking at it. I think they said it was a dishwasher on there.
It was a dishwasher?
I just added.
I was thinking it was.
I'm not, let's make sure.
Replace faulty flapper, toilet.
Toilet.
It's close to the back.
Yeah, close to the back of the toilet. Really good.
Yeah.
Oh, the 112 Eagle Way?
112 double
Double
Eagle
Eagle
Way.
Way?
Yes.
yeah, I see where it says dishwasher on the
Alright,
side
so
door.
here's what I'm gonna say, this one. We're in, if you guys want, give him the adjustment for the initial bill, but this, the work order on this says dishwasher, but then it says replace faulty flapper, which, I don't think it's a flapper, it's dishwasher.
No.
Dishwasher shouldn't be running
So I
constantly.
think he needs to hammer that first now with the
Right.
lift up.
I wonder on their app if they have to choose a category. When he chose dishwasher, he didn't know.
Is there any more from the same complex in here?
Yeah, there's
Is there one that
several
says toilet?
apartments. They're starting to get frequent flyers again. Okay, I think I had a couple of flyers.
Is there another one there? I can guarantee you. Because I can't imagine the toilet would be associated with a dishwasher.
I'd hope.
And I'm not going to tell it how to do their work order, but I would imagine there's not there. Just the same. It's fine. I'm looking at that. Jack, favorite property? I don't see By our rules, they can only approve one, but
That's a city ordinance, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of out of our hands. I mean, like I said, Like Al said, we got sympathy, but I don't know if there's anything we can do.
I would do the due diligence, call him back and say, hey, we can do this one for you by ordinance, but your work order says dishwasher, and it's saying they fixed faulty flasher, so you might want to bring that up to the apartment complex and say what actually happened
Where
here.
that happened, yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, he's a college student during the day and works at night, so, that's why he could come tonight.
yeah, we can at least give him that, say, hey, what happened here, and then call us back and let us know. I can't promise anything.
I got it. I'll call him tomorrow and let him know, which I told him I figured that's probably what was gonna happen, because we have to abide by city law.
I
Yeah.
mean, if I was paying a water bill to an apartment complex, I'd be frustrated that they couldn't get their own information right.
Exactly.
Or it appears that way, not the same thing.
It was, yes, I gave him the information on WaterScope to look at the leak, and it was happening before he moved in.
Oh,
Okay, so it wasn't built any time before you moved in, all right?
yeah.
It wouldn't be, yeah, never mind, no, it was a silly
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, the leak
Okay.
was going on before.
So he's getting billed for water that, when he
No, he's
wasn't
not
there?
getting
He's not.
billed.
The
The
leak
customer
existed.
prior to him was.
Yeah.
It just
Okay.
wasn't fixed, that customer never fixed it. That's to my knowledge.
That's probably why that customer moved, getting $500 water
Yeah,
bills.
Well, yeah, so he can print out WaterScope though and submit that to corporate also, and say, hey, this is.
We did print it out for us, so we could submit it.
I'll give him
After we
whatever,
get that documentation to him.
yeah, okay. I'll give him whatever support we can on our end without getting too intermingled in it, but
Yeah, I think if he can show the.
I understand his point for sure.
Oh, I would ask for the same thing, but our hands are tied.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we did, we printed all the documents from WaterScope, let you know that, so when he got into it, he could see that there was a water leak already going on before he got, prior to moving in.
Would you say we got a handful from that same apartment complex?
Not on this one, but the last few months, they have a lot of split issues over there.
Can,
And they called me here a while back and asked, they wanted to know why, how come every time someone calls us about a leak, automatically it stops when we go over to the department? I said, probably because you're fixing it. And he said, well, what if we don't do anything? I said, well, then you're lying to me then, because if you submit me a document stating you fixed something and the leak stopped, now you're telling me you didn't fix something. I said, someone's lying here.
Can the city not force them to maintain their equipment better?
Everything on the other side of the meter is up to them to maintain.
Can we send a letter saying we're seeing a trend that toilets are leaking and maybe time to?
We did about 3 years, not 3 years ago, when the prior city attorney was here, Mr. Palmer. He sent a letter to Lindsay's corporate office and told them that they would be suspension for a year. We could do adjustments out there because we've done so many for them out there, and they wouldn't resolve the issue. So that city attorney sent something to the corporate office, and we suspended it for a year for any adjustments.
Which happened, but I'm not going to make any comments about that happening without city
I was thinking
attorney
more
sitting
of
right
a,
here next to me answering
Yeah.
the questions, because
Well, I mean,
I was thinking more of us, we've got notification that we noticed a trend, we let them know. So if we have 5 more tenants come next month, let's say, we saw a trend, we notified them.
if all these toilets were installed in, say, 2016, and we're seeing a trend, then, hey, you need to maintain your equipment. So,
yeah, we can be a little more proactive, I guess. I would want to talk to Ashley about how proactive we can be on something, because we don't get involved on somebody else's side except for trying to help them.
And that's understandable.
Yes, finally, when I say finally, point them in a direction.
One of the maintenance men called, end of last week or yesterday, about something about the meter, and he was messing with it, put him to brass, but there's something.
What happens is, with certain places of business, they have turnover not only of residents, but they have turnover of maintenance.
maintenance, yeah.
So, one week you might be dealing with somebody, the next week you're dealing with 3 other people.
Well, with the new meters, as long as the new tenants sign up, they'll get notifications, so.
100%. And I know Angela in her office, every time somebody asks, the first thing they do is, are you on it? Nope, here you go, now you are.
We'll email the document for instructions over with their meter number, and you'll just sign up, you can monitor your water. and you can find it really quick. We're very adamant on that when they call us.
Yeah, I got a text when I was, or an email when I was filling my pool saying, you might want to look for a leak.
I get them every now and then after we yell at my son, get out the shower.
That's the only thing with him, he was just wanting to see if I could, and I was like, I'll speak on your behalf.
Do we have any other note that we need to discuss in the?
Everybody else have paperwork.
I would entertain a motion.
Second that.
I'll make the motion to accept the leak adjustments.
Cannot second.
All right. We got a motion and a second to accept the leak adjustments as submitted. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right. Let's move to the October minutes. Any
Right over here, then.
It's on page 1.
We're back in the bag.
I looked at it. There it is. I make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second to accept the October minutes as submitted. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we have the minutes from the October 22nd special meeting. Very short and sweet.
Make a motion, we accept these.
I'll second. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's move right on to the financial report.
Not a ton in the financial report, except the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me. The meter money hits the bank on Friday.
Oh, yay.
On the bank on Friday.
Yay, yeah.
So these yellow dashes are going to go away?
They sure are. They sure are. So are the negatives.
Who wins the party?
Well, good job.
Well, I didn't do much, but we're
She
excited.
did.
Huh?
She did a lot.
Water was up this month, wastewater was down, dry month, obviously, so. Other than that, there wasn't a ton in there.
Can we make this print any smaller?
I have nothing to do with that one.
Do you want a bigger stuff?
I want it printed on this
Love
paper.
my 17.
Oh, yeah, we want it all this size.
They're coming that way.
Just for you.
Well, we don't have to establish
We don't have anything on the, I don't remember anything on the ballot pertaining to taxes or bills or nothing this time, right?
You probably almost never see anything on it. The only thing you might see for public works, not specifically public works, but it's the fuel tax and the state turnback, but that has nothing to do with the city voting on it. That wouldn't just be city of Pine Public Works, that would be the state.
They did adopt the bond documents for Leah Circle too in
Yeah.
council.
We're headed in a new direction.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to, accept the financial statement as presented.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty, moving right along to public comments. Okay, see no old business, so we'll jump to new business. Lift Station 5 and Force Main Project kickoff.
Leroy, you want me to hold this back here for you? As you guys know, Mariah puts these I guess these aren't one pages, but the package and informational, kind of the highlights of the project, the details and stuff that our house with us and the budget book. And I don't know what they're talking about since she put them together.
They're not much, just a 5-page quick thing that we can have a bird's eye view of the project. Tell people what the project is, what we're trying to accomplish, hurdles we might see along the way, and then the communication team on both the engineering side and our side, so we can use it as a document, moving document from the engineer's hand for us as the project moves along. The front is just, obviously we're gonna have to work with all 3 state agencies on the project. Our logo, and then Hawkins and Weir Engineering is who the project will be engineered by. That map with the green is the area that's affected, it's the area of influence for the project. Second page, the 3.6 million is the current maximum effective capacity. We're going to 10 NGD as it stands right now for future. 8,234 people estimated, 30 businesses over a span of 14.5 square miles is the number of people that are affected by Lift Station 5. And then 2.65 miles of force main with an estimated 40% increase in line capacity. Problem statement, prior work on it. Our 3 main goals, of course, increase system capacity and reliability while ensuring cost effectiveness, enhance energy efficiency and reduce operational costs, and then improve compliance with environmental and regulatory standards. I mean, we want to stay in the realm of not having sewer overflows, compliance, things like that, reduce the infiltration and inflow. Our timeline on the 4th page, we've got our kickoff meeting with Hawkins Weir on November 13th. Their timeline that they provided us, design and preliminaries to go through July 1st of 2025. Our budget work with NRD and ADH, or Department of Health and Department of Environmental Quality through August 1st of 2025, and then hope to bid out August 1st, 2025, with construction to finish in October 1st, 2026. The Budget Council also approved the ARPA funds to use towards the Hawkins and Weir task order, and then we're looking at about 13 million estimated to ask for through state revolving fund. We're hoping to get some kind of lending rate reduction to implement a cybersecurity element somehow through, there's a bunch of different ways we can implement cybersecurity in the project that we're looking at. And then possible green project reserve elements, which are ways that we can get higher on the priority list through NRD funding, which would potentially qualify us for principal forgiveness that they do at the end of the year. They award people, which is basically, it's the only type of grant we could ever possibly receive. And then the constraints and challenges we may see.
Okay, real quick, those ARPA funds that Mariah was talking about, originally that was the $2 million allocated to the meter project, but now that Mariah does the 3.5
$3,524,810.
towards the project, we were able to reallocate those to these projects, so we were able to stretch the fund, we didn't know we were able to fund it.
And then the back page is especially for us and the engineering team that's got obviously our primary contact, our core working team that's going to be most involved in the project, and then the engineering team and his guys that are going to be mostly involved, and then kind of the path of communication that they're supposed to follow so there's no confusion on what we're supposed to be doing and who's supposed to be in the know on what we're doing. So obviously we'll be bringing stuff back to you guys as we get it after the kickoff meeting, and each step that goes along once we get bids and stuff back. Of course, we'll keep you guys in the loop and give you guys regular updates as we get them.
Tim got his own picture here, everybody else had to take a quarter
Of
page.
course, he's the primary
primary,
contact.
primary.
Don't swear.
I didn't design it, did it?
I would've bought that.
I just wanna know how we have
That's a lot.
how did we have a project that Chris wasn't involved in?
Master service agreement.
We chose Hawkins Weir from the master service agreement. They have a wide array of projects that they work on for being innovative, top of the line.
They have some very good professional relationships built, and for probably 2 years now, we've been going back and forth with them on different projects and different recommendations from them, even if they weren't involved in the project. And it was time to award them the project that the results have shown us. So we're very much looking forward to working with them.
Good.
All right, so
Next packet, another one for the self-play project, this is for the water one.
You go, Lou.
Yeah. It's the other big one. Just got kind of the same thing, project summary, largest water storage upgrade in the area. Of course, critical water pressure and fire flow improvement. You guys are well aware of this project and the reasons we need to do it, commitment to regulatory compliance and water quality. And the same thing with the problem statement, goes through the importance of the fire flow and pressure to keep our ISO rating and keep complying with the Arkansas Department of Health and all of their pressure regulations as in regards to fire flow and providing the school and all of that. Our top 3 goals: increase water storage and pressure consistency throughout the system, strengthen fire protection and emergency response, and continue full regulatory compliance and water quality standards.
Fun fact on that picture, the guy at the top of the standpipe is Greg Asher, the wastewater treatment plant, and the guy in the middle is Joe Henry, who is one of the construction coordinators now. They're both still employees. So, you know, it says Bryant Fire Rescue, those are our guys.
And this project scope, this does go off of us using a revolving fund through Natural Resources Division, which we're looking at more private, so this could change, but obviously we'll keep you guys posted. We do have our kickoff meeting this Thursday. Design and preliminary is supposed to go through June of 2025. Budget work and Department of Health and all the approvals that will need to go through August of 2025, and then bidding and construction, hopefully to start September of 2025, go through January of 2028 as it stands right now. The budget, like Tim said, that's that additional, or the remaining $900,000 of the $2 million that council approved to be spent towards the South Plain project. Estimated cost that remains is about $12 million, and then we don't have any cybersecurity elements to necessarily include for a lending reduction because private funding doesn't do stuff like that, and there isn't much cybersecurity that we can implement here. But the Creek Project Reserve, we always aim to implement any of those that we can, not just for lending rate reductions, but just because it's important. So that would be any type of energy efficiency and any environmentally innovative elements that we could get into the project. The possible constraints with opportunities in this one, so the things that we think we may possibly run into, but the solutions right underneath them. Probably one of the biggest ones that you guys will see is definitely the ensuring quality and consistency and water pressure. That'll be a big one that we'll have to work through with the pressure plane change, and of course budget restraints and cost overruns. That's always a consideration that we take very seriously. And then your project team and communication for all the same reasons. Tim definitely gets his own square, primary contact. And then you've got Chris' team, which is Matt, Omar, and Trevor, who you guys have all met, and same kind of communication channels. For our team, we've got Bryce, Joe, and Ted.
looks good.
The same thing with this one, you guys.
28? Completion in 28?
That was, I took those based off of Chris' proposal, but again, that was using NRD funding, which takes a lot longer. So I would expect that to change, and after our kickoff meeting, I should have more information on the schedule. But I just took it from their proposal, which again was based off us using state revolving funds, which would definitely
Now, he did say if we went private, it'd be a lot faster.
Yeah, way faster.
Mariah and I got called the other day to meet with who will provide the private funding.
Is
And,
it Stevens?
and they gave us, I'm not gonna call it a generic schedule, but a schedule that we need to hand down.
All right, good job on those.
You guys will continue to see those as projects progress too.
I figured.
Yeah, I know they're good information, and they're great for, public questions too, because they don't get too much in the weeds, and so it'll be great overview.
All right, budget.
Now, that's literally just the budget that you guys have already said about, nothing has changed in it. So, if you have questions from the other budget meeting, understand. We'll move on. Okay?
What did we do?
Oh, okay. Here's the two big things in the budget.
Yeah. There's also the little capital project budget, that's just the water and wastewater one, that's in there, and the public works budget's in there. So they're all attached in there, so like you said. The budget meeting.
Yeah, mostly said that the other high due, still need approval, but looking at restructuring public works into adding 2 GMs, one over the streets and stormwater side and one over the water and wastewater side. And then future planning outside of that is, Mariah's assistant the water, wastewater analyst, she'll become the public works analyst. And then 2026, we'll hire a stormwater streets analyst. In 2027, we'll hire kind of a public information officer who will work with Mariah kind of on this stuff and get the information out. At this point, I would imagine that position would be part-time, because that's 2.5, 3 years away. So that's the big thing with structuring. The other difference is typically we buy all of our equipment, trucks and stuff outright, but we put a very comprehensive, like 20-year replacement plan together based on a 5 and 7 year depreciation. So we're going to actually finance some of it this time, and then by the time we pay it off, we know it's time to replace it. So it actually helps on our scheduling now.
Are you going to stagger those?
What about leasing? Is that more expensive?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. And the other problem, there are departments here that lease and they're trying to get out of it for various reasons. Us leasing equipment, knowing it's going to go through the woods and we're going to upfit it with lights and this and that, it creates hassles. So.
We did release this past thing on I won't do that again.
Yeah, the departments that did lease over the past few years have, it started at $225 a month and now it's close to $800-900 a month. So. And there was huge lead time. Again, the way we upfit our stuff and drive it through the woods. But like I said, I was very hesitant about the whole financing vehicle thing because I like to buy and own them.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes, the way we're moving forward in the long term, it makes sense to finance them. Not to mention some are $500,000, so makes sense to finance something like that.
When is that going to start?
2025.
Help the interest rates go down.
Starting tonight?
Well, yeah, they're actually, don't quote me, let's just say 5%. And it's not individual loans, it's one large loan. Versus a bunch of them.
Yeah, I guess that'd be.
So, yeah, it wouldn't be like a loan on each truck.
So, the South Plains project, that's gonna go bonds then, basically? We know what those are, what they're looking at.
Last they told us it was like 4.5, which is exactly what NRD is.
But faster, requirements are different.
Yeah, unless we use the.
Okay.
Is there anything else we need to do on the budget stuff?
No. Just know that the rates that were set forth a few years ago, because, every year they go up a little bit, so next year they'll go up there, and every one they increase again.
All right, Saline Regional.
We got a few updates. We are continuing to clear the intake site. We did approve a change order to be signed for more to be cleared so that the geological land investigations can begin, and they've got all the land for the intake site here. It's an additional $18,000 that will be reimbursed by the county. Our easement discussion is starting, and we did form an easement acquisition committee to make sure that we're having meetings outside of our monthly meetings. The project is getting to the point where there's about 250 easements we have to go get, so we need to make sure that we're doing it the right way and being the most efficient, making sure that we're sharing information as much as we can. So obviously it'll still be legal, there won't be the whole committee there. The committee is just a couple board members, and then obviously quite a bit of outside influence with the cities, stuff like that. So there's a really good group of us on that committee. Our treatment plant site, the 39.6 acres for 1.8 million, the contract is approved to be signed contingent upon in phase 1 environmental site assessment being done. We got notice today that both the reservoir and the treatment plant site are $5,000 each, and they will be done within 2 weeks, both getting environmental site assessments done, so we can be sure the land that we're getting is, that we're able to build the treatment plant and reservoir on it, so just to make sure that we're being safe. And then the reservoir site is 120 acres for $780,000. The contract that we looked at and approved, again, contingent upon the environmental site assessment coming back okay. The only thing that we need to note in the reservoir site is that the contract that they proposed, that Delta Timber proposed, does maintain mineral rights. Whoever has mineral rights to that land maintains their mineral rights throughout, but we're protected through the encroachment laws that remain. They cannot come in and affect our water quality or touch the reservoir. So worst case scenario, someone comes in and says they have mineral rights to the land, we just get neighbors, but it will not affect our reservoir or our water quality at all. So that was the only thing that we saw in that contract. And then we're continuing to discuss funding options and work with NRD versus Stevens and kind of the revenue streams and see how we can manipulate that to make sure we're getting the most bang for our buck and use the 10 million efficiently.
Where's the reservoir gonna be located at?
It is right on the county line. I can tell you what county line. It's, what is it?
Probably
Garland and Hot Springs. It's Garland, it's Hot Springs County and Saline County.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
So it's down 70?
down 70 on the left-hand side.
Okay,
yeah. It's 120 acres. It's timber property.
okay. Where's the water plant gonna be located at?
I should have brought, it's right off Congo, Ferndale.
Sale.
Yeah, it's.
Salem area?
Sale.
Yeah,
Not Benton? Thank you.
no.
Okay.
I
Huh?
got that information wrong, yellow her, she's the person.
It's county. There's no sewer out there right now. Benton doesn't have any sewer or water out there right now. It's county.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah, yeah, no, sorry, I'm looking away from it, but no, it's county, because we talked about sewer and water utilities.
The lake out there, past Salem, is that CWA's lake?
Like Laurel?
North, is
No,
that
that's
Benton's water supply?
it's a backup source. Lake Laurel is a backup source.
What is, and Hurricane is nothing? Nobody's water source?
Hurricane Lake,
Yeah.
I know,
No, I don't know who draws that one.
yeah, sure.
Ben doesn't.
It was originally for Alcoa, correct?
There is a
Reynolds.
line that goes from
Yeah.
there.
For the Reynolds.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a pipeline that comes off.
Benton's water source is Lake Laurel as their backup and Saline River is their main. They built Lake Laurel as a backup source. They can open a valve and it discharges into the Saline River. It doesn't go to their plant. There's one valve and it goes straight to the river.
And so what were they in a bind this last couple weeks with the
I
river?
do not know.
Because when I saw the Saline River crossing 270, it was dry.
I don't know.
And then they built that reservoir.
They have a reservoir, so they've got, yeah, their reservoir is over on
That's only-
Dale Avenue. That's separate. The Chenal Reservoir is separate.
Well, but Benton has a reservoir right off the Saline River there, but that's
That's
only,
Chenal, that's the Chenal Reservoir.
they call that Chenal?
Mhm, Chenal, they call it the Chenal Reservoir.
Really? I didn't realize that. Huh? Okay. So I was waiting for them to come with their hand out with the river drying up.
Yeah, no, that Chenal Reservoir holds 120 days of storage for them, so they could, if both sides of the reservoir were full, they can last 120 days on that water. And that's Saline River water.
That's probably why it's dry at 270, they're pulling it all out upstream. I'm done.
That's the only updates on Saline Regional. If any of you guys would like to come to the easement acquisition meetings, I'll let you guys know.
When's the next meeting?
The next actual meeting is the last Thursday.
In November? That'll be Thanksgiving, so.
No, let me double check and get back.
I've got the list at home,
Yeah, let me let you guys know.
I was just testing you.
Oh, yeah, well, I failed. I'll let you guys know what it is.
Okay.
All righty, we're at the end of our agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Before you make a motion, the agenda for next month, we need to put election of officers.
Yes.
Already?
Yes, please.
Already?
Everybody here,
I know, but it seemed like we just did it.
without chairs. That's all I gotta say.
Huh?
You had a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.